Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show today. My name is Rachel Jones, and I'm a sales coach that helps small businesses increase their revenue. I'm so excited today to have two guests from SCORE, which has been a big part of my journey. And I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves and a little bit about their background. Kelly, we'll kick it off with you. What brought you to SCORE, and what's a little bit of your background?
Thank you, Rachel. Glad to be here. I've been with SCORE for 8 years. I'm current co-chair and have been for the last 3 years. It's a great organization. I sold my business 11 years ago and have been doing community work. I started out in other sectors, sort of, poverty, education, and arts, and had a friend challenge me on maybe you better get into some business. So since I did run a trucking company. It's been wonderful. I'm tickled to be with. We met a lot of great people. We help a lot of business people in the community, and it's really nice to be part of some colleagues within SCORE. So I enjoy it.
Greg, what about you? What brought you to SCORE?
Well, again, thank you for inviting us to participate today. I came to SCORE about 15 years ago. Excuse me. I was a vice president and divisional manager and decided to take an early out program. I opened a small business consulting firm with a partner for a brief period of time. And we've been working together here with Kelly for the past several years, trying to increase our vision, promote the benefits that we can offer to the small business community with our free mentoring. And it's been a great experience so far.
Okay. Now, Greg, can you kind of explain what SCORE does and who it serves?
Sure. The SCORE mission is to help small businesses succeed. And the way that they try to do that is through free mentoring and low cost or no cost educational programs. We also have a virtual library that covers tens of thousands of subjects that's available 24/7. We try to promote ourselves into the community to connect with other organizations that would like to also support small businesses.
Okay. And Kelly, what exactly does a SCORE co-chair do? What is your responsibilities as you're helping SCORE's mission?
Well, like a lot of nonprofits, we're part of the Small Business Administration, and we have a lot of committees, outreach and marketing and finance and workshops, and so we oversee the quality and the depth that we do here in our chapter 34, which covers Cincinnati and Southeast Indiana and Northern Kentucky. We have over 100 mentors, so a lot of relationships, and then we deal also with National, who is out of Virginia, and so we have over 200 chapters. So just the day-to-day operations, and then the vision for the future, and then managing the committees from within.
And Kelly, when a business is coming to you, what are some of the challenges that they're trying to overcome? Are they startup? They've been in business a few years and they're hitting a couple of walls with growth? Like what are they looking for when they come to you?
Good question, Rachel. In fact, they were probably more startups, and now we're seeing a huge increase in those that have been in business for some time. So we pride ourselves on, hey, if this is a business idea you have, all the way to, hey, I've had this business for years and I'm trying to find my way out, who to sell to, or ESOP or whatever, we can help, and have a lot of mentors within our organization that can, we can bring in others. Even when you have a mentor, you need another little SOS from someone else that has a little more experience in that area. But yeah, it's we can help every department of a business, and from the beginning to end.
And Greg, I know from my past interactions with SCORE, like Kelly was saying, you can have a mentor, but if there's a specialty, say marketing or finance or something that your current mentor doesn't really have a strong understanding in, do they do that in a group setting where they bring in different people from that market segment? Do they call folks in? How does that work when you're trying to get a specialist in with your mentor?
when someone decides that they want to have SCORE mentoring and becomes a client, they're assigned a lead mentor. And that's someone who's going to manage the relationship both with the client and internally. So they will bring in resources with subject matter experts in areas that can range anywhere from legal to finance to any other subject that we might want to cover in a business discussion. We're fortunate locally that we have over 100 members. So we have a vast pool of experience and skills to draw upon. And by the way, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary this year. So we also have a lot of depth in terms of longevity and legacy information.
Congratulations. That's great.
Oh.
Now, out of curiosity, what are bringing these mentors? Are these folks that are volunteering their time? What are you looking for mentors? If there's anybody listening that would like to become involved on the mentorship side. Greg, I'll let you kick off that.
Well, our volunteers range in age from 25 years old to 85 years old. So there's a lot of depth in there also. About 30% of our members are in the workforce today, and the others are either part-time or retired. Mm-hmm. We have a number of people that have been with us over 20 years, and we have people that have only been with us less than 20 months. So we welcome anyone at any time that has an interest in giving back to the community by being a mentor to small businesses.
Okay. Kelly, out of curiosity, is there any particular industries with the companies that you're serving that you're seeing that you guys lean towards, or is it all across the board?
It is across the board. And with the background I have, as I mentioned, trucking, you might think, and I've had some requests for that through the years. But, you know, it's funny, when I first got started, I thought, well, that's all that I could help with. But, you know, once you dissect all the departments that, you know, you've got your billing, accounts receivable, payables, and marketing and sales. And so there's a lot of similarities that go through a lot of industries. So I probably maybe 10% of who I've mentored has been within the trucking and outside. So the rest is startups or those that are already in business, and just, you know, getting organized. And maybe they're, you know, a lot of business owners are, especially if they're sort of solopreneurs, they you know, one person show, they have a lot of passion and they're good at what they want to do, but they need reinforcements on the other types of, you know, maybe it's an accountant or marketing or what have you. So, it's been great. I've learned a lot. So, you know, as you appeal for people that want to be a mentor, you know, we learn from each other. I've helped a lot of clients, and I've gleaned a lot of information myself. It's been great.
Yeah, what was so interesting when I started my small business entrepreneur journey, you know, you start something because you love it, but you have literally no idea about that. If you hire folks, there's going to be HR issues. You're going to have to deal with payroll and workers' comp and marketing. And it's like you're having to switch in and out all these hats, but you might only know 2 of those hats out of 10 or 20 or 30.
You get people that know what they're doing to reinforce you, because not one person has it all down, and it's ever changing too. So it's good to, you know, be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm. Greg, is there any particular industries that you really like kind of gravitate toward when you're coaching?
Well, I tell a story that when I first became a mentor, went through the certification process, the first thing I ran into was a nonprofit that wanted to support activities in Africa. And I was way out of my depth there. But the next client was a brew pub that wanted to open a bar, and I was more at ease doing that. But all of the experiences have been, you know, fascinating to me, because I've learned so much from clients. I've learned more about the activities they're involved in, the businesses that they'd like to run, but also just their personalities and their way of approaching things has helped me expand and become, you know, I think a more well-rounded person just because of this experience.
Okay. Now, I know that we're talking about the workshops and the one-on-one mentoring, but I know that you have a conference coming up. Kelly, can you kind of share about that event that's coming up?
Certainly, and Greg will want to talk about it too. It's called Confluence, and this will be our 3rd year. which it's a wonderful event. We have a nice lineup of different people and on panels, a lot of enrichment for businesses. And we're going to have it on at United Way, which is 2400 Reading Road here on September 18th. And just a lot of great SCORE people. But then in addition, we have a huge amount of people in our community that there is no doubt you will learn something there that day. Greg, did you want to add to that?
Greg, would you like to kind of share what somebody coming should expect from the day?
Yes, I was surprised when getting the itinerary or the agenda, excuse me, and looking at the depth of the people who are going to be there, everywhere from the University of Cincinnati Legal Department, University of Dayton, and a very vast number of cybersecurity and artificial intelligence people. And what I discovered was that cybersecurity and artificial intelligence are probably the two most unrecognized activities that can affect a small business. Mm-hmm. That small business that suffers a cyber attack is likely to close within 6 months. That's a national statistic. And small businesses are the most vulnerable to cyber attack because they don't have the vast IT departments that a Procter or Gamble or a Kroger or someone else would have. So there's a lot that can be done and learned at this conference to protect your business and help it grow at the same time. And lunch is included.
Right.
There you go. You know, it's interesting that you said that because I had a guest last week, Rob Rains with Certissima, and he's an IT company for small business owners. And what he said is that the bots are now AI bots that are looking for people who are vulnerable, because it's not just the hospitals or the big ones that are now going to be attacked and have ransomware put on. It's all the smaller ones too. So I'm really excited that you guys are sharing about that and how people can protect themselves. I know that you are going to give us a special coupon code for anybody listening today. So I will have that listed below. I would encourage you, if you have any questions or comments about the upcoming event, to put it down below, and either Kelly, Greg, or myself will list it. Now, I know, Greg, you shared a little bit of some of the people that you worked with. And Kelly, I know you and I have chatted offline, but I'm really interested. Is there one particular one? We'll start with Greg and then go to Kelly, that just stands out that it's a success story because they were partnered with SCORE, and it helped significantly impact their business?
Well, I think the one that first comes to my mind is I was assigned a client in March of 2020. And if you can remember back, that was also March the 13th when they announced that they were going to shut everything down. These folks have persevered through that time and have a successful food truck business. They have multiple trucks, and they have a very unique product, Asahi, which is not well known here in the United States, but is extremely popular in South America. And as FC Cincinnati and other organizations that have more outside of the U.S. Participants, it's become a very popular treat to have. So they are my at least current poster children for the success that they've had. It's a husband and wife business. That's
great. Kelly, what about you?
Rachel, I was there was a gal, Mavis Linneman, Clark, who owns Delish Dish, and I've been working with her in the last year. Carlin was her mentor initially, and Carlin Stam, for many years, and we have a client of the year, and she just came in second this year. And years ago, she's been around a long time, so many years ago, she did win. She just has a great catering and food business, a good eye for food creation, and a good business head. We've had cheesecakery. We've, throughout our chapter, we've had barbecue places, some, high name places. I was just made aware the other day, the Sign Museum people, when they got their start, they used SCORE. So it's really, we should keep a list. It's pretty impressive. And that's not to say for those listening that, oh gosh, I'm just getting started. I've had anybody from wanting to run a skateboard business to food to health, home care, children's care. It's been really amazing. And SCORE, it's the best. Why not? It's free. It's worth it. And they even say if you use a mentor, you're more likely to stay in business.
Mm-hmm.
We have 250 chapters in our country, 10,000 volunteers. And our chapter, like in 2023, did like 2,500 sessions with 1,000 new clients. A lot of them are in person, some are webinars, and 90% of them that started with us in the beginning of the year were still around at the end of the year, which defies the numbers if they don't have a mentor. So, our 100+ mentors in 2023 did 4,500 hours, volunteers. So to me, it's a no-brainer, and we're here and ready to help, and delighted to do it.
Well, Mavis and I have been friends for a very long time, and she's always spoke very highly of everything that SCORE has done to help her. And I know that she's got a really exciting thing to unveil here in the next couple of months that people should be listening out for. And then what I would say is, just at the start of my entrepreneur journey, 10 years ago, I really got a lot of help from the folks at SCORE. I think my initial plan was to teach horseback riding lessons, and I was told, your ponies eat all your money, right? So how do you actually pay your bills? And we looked through that, and I got a lot of help at the start of my entrepreneur journey. So I personally would just recommend anybody who's listening that either wants to be a mentor or who would like some help in their small business to contact SCORE. And I think you're going to have a wonderful journey. Now, to wrap this up, I would love if you could give somebody that's thinking about joining in one tip to get started. Like where do they start out in this journey, whether it's coming to the conference or a particular workshop? Kelly, I'll go to you first, and then Greg, I'll go to you.
Rachel, I've been thinking about this question because you were good enough to give us a little heads up beforehand. And if you don't mind, I'll be quick here, but certainly the Confluence would be a great start for people. We really can help in any facet of your business. One of our mentors, Kim Jordan, I love her line, scale it and nail it. So, how big do you want to be and how are you going to do it? I'd also say, I have a client right now, she just doesn't like the financial part, and it's just getting her, hey, you got to get to the accountant and get this, do that in the very beginning, even if you just can't stand it and you procrastinate, but you just can't when you've got to cover all facets of it. And lastly, I would say this. Not all business is good business. Some of it really takes a lot of time and it's not in your wheelhouse. So sometimes saying no is the right response. So don't be afraid to say no.
Greg, what about you? What would you give somebody advice as they're looking into coming and working with y'all?
Well, the first thing I would recommend is anybody that wants to know more, go to score.org/Greater Cincinnati. And you'll see the free library that I mentioned earlier, the success stories that we've had, the workshops that are available to you both virtually and in person. And you can construct your own program if you so choose to get educated and be more familiar in various areas of the business world. Or you can obviously become a SCORE mentor, or you can ask for a SCORE mentor at that site.
Perfect. Well, I really appreciate both of you joining me today. I hope everybody that's listening gets a little bit of insight on some resources that they could take advantage of. And we will link that coupon code down below, as well as the website, for everybody to check out. Thank you guys so much.
Rachel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a lovely